I am your host with the locks that rocks, Adam Richmond, and this is the official podcast of Rocklahoma, Surviving Rocklahoma, and I'm joined by a couple of gentlemen I am so excited to see on this Rocklahoma lineup. What is up, gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, any given sin.
How you doing, man?
What's happening?
I am doing well. How are you guys doing? How's Oklahoma?
We're doing awesome. It's been great to us so far.
Yeah, perfect weather. I hear that. I just hear that today was the best weather day. Is that correct?
Of the weekend, we were rained out for about 3 hours, so we missed out about 3 hours. And today's full sun, full heat, as you guys know.
Indeed.
Right on.
Tell me a little bit about performing in the heat.
He has a fan, and it blows in my face constantly.
I have a $250 fan, and I don't mean a person. I mean a mechanical device that blows air. And everybody else in the band hates it because I put it on high. Of course, I'm like nice and chill, and they all like have hair in their mouth and all that kind of shit. But yeah,
I choke on it all the time. But and then it's hot. I don't feel it. Yeah, I don't feel it. I just get my hair into my mouth. That's pretty much it. It doesn't cool me off.
I feel that as a fellow long hair man. I know that feeling.
And I'm frizzy as shit, so it's just like constantly in my face. But it is what it is.
Wow. You know, singers.
Yeah, I mean, that's just hey man. If you could grow this hair, you claim to.
Right. It's a commitment, y'all. The things we do for rock.
I'm telling you.
So, you guys have been around for a while. Tell me all about what's going on with you right now musically. What are you all out promoting?
So we just put out a new cover single, "Died in Your Arms Tonight" by Cutting Crew. We did not go radio with it, but it's amassed almost about 2 million streams in a few weeks. So kind of organically, which is nuts. We didn't expect that at all. So that's been pretty cool. But we're out doing the festival hopping right now. And then going back in the studio for new music around November.
Awesome. So you mentioned you're going back in the studio around November. Do you guys go into the studio with a game plan, or do you all just show up with a case of beer and, hey, let's jam some stuff out?
We have somewhat of a game plan.
Yeah.
But there's no point. We learned from the first album not to have too much of a game plan because it's going to get changed. So we just try to get a basic good melody and a chorus going, and then we work it out in the studio from there.
How does that work for you guys? Do you guys got roles, or do you just show up with a couple of notes in your pockets? Hey guys, I got this. Check this out.
We have riffs.
Yeah, I mean it can go a lot of ways. So we might have almost fully developed song. We've had it where we've had two songs that we meshed into one when we got to the studio. You know, so it's so there's no formula to it, I guess. You know.
Yeah,
there's definitely no blueprint.
And it's always more fun that way, right?
Sure.
Do you have any stuff that you didn't think was going to work, and then man, that actually sounds awesome. Dynamite.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, first it was going to be an acoustic song. We were hell bent on that, and our producer Trevor Kustiak at the time said, "Let's try it with the whole band." And we were like, "All right, we'll try it," but I don't think it's going to work. And obviously it did. I never thought it would be a single, and it blew up like dynamite.
How do you feel about playing that now? Like going on
I love
now?
it.
You love you?
It's my favorite song to play live.
Love it. Speaking of playing live, tell me a little bit about your stage performance. Do you have any routines, like warm-ups, like traditions or anything like that before you take the stage to get you in the mindset?
I do. I have vocal warm-ups and stuff I do. I swear by throat coat on the road, stuff like that. Anything to protect you a little bit, because you're out, 7 nights a week or something. You're getting wrecked every night, So you got to do something to, keep it consistent.
Yeah. I don't go out there with a game plan at all. I find that it's just better. I just wing it when I go out there. So.
There's just something about live and improv.
Sure.
Shit's gonna mess up. My equipment's gonna mess up. We'll just make it work. As somebody who, my whole shtick is my voice. After a 3-day weekend and talking to a lot of artists, I know my voice gets blown to hell.
Sure.
How do you do that? Day in and day out?
I don't know. I think there are people that I see that can get wasted drunk every night, and then go out and just kill it every night. I'm not one of those people, so I've got to keep it cool and do my little routines and things to do it. But there's some people just built for it. Honestly, I think there's just some people built for it.
I imagine. Now, what about you? Like, when this heat's going, you're dehydrated, you've been partying, you've been on the road. When you start cramping up and all of this shit, what do you do whenever you can't play your instrument?
I don't really cramp up. I don't get so
Really?
I'm not going to say how old I am, but I was around when I think the Declaration of Independence was signed, and I've been fortunate that it's I don't know. I stay agile.
Good.
So, yeah. I mean, the heat bothers me a little bit. That's why I have my big, $250 fan. But, other than that, man, I'm all over. I love it.
So, you guys have played Rocklahoma, and we've got some great photos of you all. We got some great fan images that's going to be coming out on Facebook. Do you ever get surprised, or like you see something come out from the crowd that like, man, when did that happen on stage?
Yeah, I was surprised to see body surfing.
Oh yeah, during our slowest song.
During Dynamite.
So that was great.
People were crowd surfing by the teens.
Yeah,
not
it was
by the
fantastic.
Hundreds, but, during Dynamite.
Definitely not a complaint, just a new thing.
It was just odd.
That's all. Yeah. You're lucky you didn't have like swimming pools and stuff. I mean, this crowd is crazy
awesome.
up in here.
Yes, they are. They're great.
So, we've talked a bit about your music and what feels your music, and you've alluded to a couple of things you've got coming on the run. And you guys obviously are seeing some great success for you all as an ensemble and in your careers. Do you still have a brass ring that you guys are still like, man, that's what I want, that's next, that you're working for?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I know it'll be very difficult for us being a newer band. Getting to Europe and playing in Europe is something I really want to do. We kind of picked Mascot, our label, because they have such an influence over there. Just because we think the music will do well over there, and we'd really like to give it a try. And just kind of expand past just the United States would be really cool.
I would agree. We've toured North America 10 times now since we've been signed, and don't get me wrong, we love North America, but there's a lot of other things out there, a lot of other untapped sources that we really need to get to.
Right. Now, you've toured 10 times. You've been across and just playing everywhere. Do you have any like standout favorite places that you like to play?
Man, I got a couple. Like of a very small venue. The Machine Shop is one of my favorites in Flint, Michigan. Straight up, they do a great job there. The crew's awesome. The sound's awesome. We also got another one was cool for me. I am into old country music, so we played Kane's Ballroom, right here in Oklahoma, and just all the history and stuff was just so fucking awesome for me.
You know that place is haunted, right?
I hope it is. I'd love to meet a ghost there because I'm sure they could teach me something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your Canes is just not 45 minutes away from here,
totally.
and it really is. It's a historic place there in Tulsa. Now, can you tell me a little bit about playing those smaller venues?
Sure. They are more intimate. You get to you really get to like, you're done with your set. You go out to the bar. You can talk to everybody. You know what I mean? So you get to meet your fans. They get to tell you what they like and don't like, whether you want to know it or not. You know what I mean? But it's a good thing. So you make new friends. I feel like it's just, I don't know, it feels like a home kind of thing. It's more homey than some of the big venues.
I'm going to miss that. Do we get too big and that stops where we can't meet the fans afterwards? I would miss that a lot. That's one of my favorite parts for sure.
You know, that's actually a good question. This is something I always like to ask because, this is a festival. And the funny thing is the campgrounds is just insane. Like, we are some of the craziest people you've ever met. Now, you guys are also on a marathon. You're on tour. You have to, you can't always go out and party. Yeah. And, well, you can, but, that's going to catch up with you. You guys, do you go mingle out in the crowd? Are you going to be out in the campgrounds this year?
At this festival, unfortunately, we will not. But yes, I do like to mingle, go out whenever we're at a show. We like to sit by our merch booth and talk to people too, entice people maybe to come over and buy some merch. So, yeah, we like to get out.
Speaking of, okay, so we do a lot of locals and unsigned talent, and that's one of our shticks with Surviving Rocklahoma, but we also see a lot of folks, you know, once they get on that label, you know, you still got to do that hustle and that grind, but it's different. So like folks like these, they got to be at that merch tent just to put gas in the tank.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the grind for you guys nowadays versus before you all got signed.
It's still pretty much the same.
There's a lot of the same thing. It really is. I mean, you're trying to fight, doing a good job, also trying to be comfortable, also trying to not, you know, go into the red too much. In certain cases, things happen. Your bus is broke down. This happens. So it's a constant battle. It's like Odysseus, you know, and the Odyssey and everything else. That's what a tour's like. You're trying to make it back to Ithaca or something. And but it's
hard. People think just because you're signed and they hear your song on the radio right before Metallica's song that you're at the same financial level.
Right.
And I hear from my friends and people that I used to work with all the time say, "Well, you got rock star money now. You can afford it."
No.
I was like, if you only knew what that meant, because it is not that way. The only people that are making money in rock and roll are the mega superstars, and that is a fact.
Yeah.
So nobody is doing this for the money at this point if they're in a rock band.
Right.
You gotta love it.
How much of a surprise is it for when you all set out and you decided, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to be a professional, we're going to tour, we're going to do all of this, versus now, and you look back at yourself back then, what's the biggest surprise that this is not the way I thought it was going to be?
Man,
We gotta be careful with this one.
Oh, okay. I like that.
that's a great question, man.
It
No
is a great
worries.
question. I'm gonna have to plead fifth on this.
That's smart, though.
Yeah.
That's that's how you've
I
toured.
can answer the question, but I just don't want to answer.
I'm a married man. I know how this all works. It's a strain, though. I mean, touring, going all of this, and, you know, it's a strain on, like, personal life, your family. I mean, it is a commitment. It's a trade. And, you know, tell me a little bit about how that life comes into your music.
I guess I'd say, like, for me, it's a bit of a culture shock because I could be kind of a homebody in my own personal life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I love playing music and things like that, but sometimes I get maybe overwhelmed by the amount of people I have to meet and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's a new thing I had to, like, start adjusting for, you know what I mean?
It's all of us. I would say all four of us are pretty introverted.
Yeah.
And when we're home, we're home. And it's not like this big city party life or anything.
Right,
It's
no,
like,
you're just
I'm at
hanging.
home petting my cat, seeing my, hanging out with my daughters. I planted a fucking garden. Can I say fucking? It's fucking.
Oh, yeah.
I planted a fucking garden. Earlier this year, and all four of us have that in common. We're very, very introverted kind of people.
Yeah.
So this is a big thing for us.
Yeah.
And honestly, for me, I get a little bit of anxiety sometimes from it.
Anxiety really, it gets everybody. And I know a lot of people who want to do what you all do, and they are so terrified of that anxiety. And it just walking up and being social when you're not feeling to be social, or just being self-critical. Can you tell me a little bit about overcoming that?
Yeah, you just kind of do it. I mean, to be honest, you do it and then get the courage to do it later. I think I heard that in a movie one time. But it's good advice. You kind of just push through it, and you figure out little ways, finding like when you're on tour, you find your little places that you can be alone for a second and decompress or something, so you can be out there and be what you need to be when you need to be it, kind of thing.
I love it, guys. I know we got really deep, and I know
that's cool, man.
We talked about your music a lot. We absolutely love y'all's performances, and we are so glad to see you all playing at Rocklahoma 2024. Before I let you gentlemen go, I like to have all of my guests give them a chance to directly talk to their fans, acknowledge the folks who just watched them. Ladies and gentlemen, any given sin, gentlemen, the stage is yours.
What's up? I would just like to personally say thank you guys very much for believing in us, for listening to us, and being our fans. We would be nothing without you. It would not work without you, so thank you.
100%. And for the Rocklahoma fans tonight, this is our first Rocklahoma. Thank you guys so much for the welcome that we got. You were awesome. We will definitely be back, and we hope you are too.
Wonderful, guys. Once again, thank you so much for joining me and setting with me. For Any Given Sin, I am your host with the Locks That Rocks, Adam Richmond. This is the official podcast of Rocklahoma, Surviving Rocklahoma. And until next time, rock on.